welcome to episode 12 of the FoxCast. As always, your lead captain of the ship, of the den of it all, me, Doaks. I am here to lead the way, but of course I can't do it alone. I have a team with me. I'll have my two lovely hosts, as always, Dyna and Nuvo, with me that I'll introduce here in just a moment. But I do have two special guests to introduce after them. But first off, the man who cannot seem to find talkies into his life, even though he loves them more than he does his family. Nuvo, say hello to all of the lovely listeners today.
You make me sound like I don't love my family, Cap. I don't appreciate that.
It's not that. It's just that's how much you love your snackage.
I mean, I do like Takis. If it come between Takis and my little dog, I might just say, doggy, you lived a long life. But yeah.
See, you made it evident right there. And I think I said my right, so to my left, I have the man who makes all of our mess ups seem like they never even occurred. He is pure perfection. Hello to everyone. Say it, my friend Dyna. Say hello.
Oh gosh. Hi everyone, Dyna here.
And today I really want to welcome two of our great guest hosts. One of them is a longtime friend of both Nuvo and Dyna, so I'll introduce him first. He's a man of many names. You may hear him called by many things tonight. He may be called Marvin. He may be called not Marvin. He may be called Caleb. He may be called that guy over there. Marvin, say hello to everybody.
Hello, you also forgot Ninja Mushi and Marvin the Shark. Dude, I go by everything, man.
Everybody who's listening, if Marvin has moments where he pauses for a second, he, unfortunately, even despite this, decided to join us tonight. He's a little under the weather, so he may have some bleeding coming out of his throat. Don't mind that. That's intentional. He wanted that. He loves the effect.
Got the Rocky syndrome going on, man.
Yeah, the throat's a little, fucked up right now, but I'll be all right.
This is going to be wonderful. It's going to be confetti of his internal juices. And our other lovely co-host is not only the man of many names partner, but she's also her own person with so much to share, and someone that I don't think many people give enough credit for being very interesting. Say hello to everybody, Gabby.
Hi, I'm Gabby, or also Win. I am the girlfriend of Marvin, not Marvin.
Aw, cute couple.
I know, right? So charming.
And if there's anything I support, it's a cute couple from the internet. Guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm glad I was able to get you. Win was, or Gabby, was someone I anticipated to be our first guest host way back when, but due to circumstances, there were other things that were happening that could not happen. I think that's when she was going to Canada at the time, which I was jealous of. But guys, really, thanks for being here tonight. Are you ready for us to interview you in a way that will just make you feel the most uncomfortable you've ever felt in your life? I mean, you'll have a good time.
I'll challenge that by feeling as comfortable as I possibly can.
Oh my goodness, that does sound lovely. Well, guys, if you are ready for our episode, let us get into it. So, first off, as we started last episode, questions of the episode. I'm not going to call it questions of the week because we're not that timely. Dyna's good, but he's not that good. He has a life, people.
Help.
So first, from the user Kinds, what aspect of anime do you wish people would talk about more? I'm going to shoot this towards not Marvin first.
Dude, you know what? I had a hard time figuring out what to say for this, but I almost kind of feel like, not so much an aspect of anime itself, but almost kind of a comparison within anime. So like, comparing to literature or film or other mediums, I feel like can kind of pull out like a lot of interesting like strengths in anime that like just aren't highlighted that much. Like I watch a lot of, say analysis on YouTube or whatever, and I don't see that like really good, in-depth comparisons to other forms of like entertainment, and I feel like that could be, a source for interesting discussion that's kind of passed up on.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that.
Yeah, not so much like anime itself, but, just anime being compared to other mediums. That's kind of my answer, yeah.
Oh, and I get that, because there's a lot of things out there that are already compared, but anime a lot of times just like, oh, it's just anime, so why would we compare it to... Well, I mean, it is a storytelling medium, and art medium, there is a lot for it to show inspiration from.
Right.
Like, most of us have seen From the New World or Shinseki Yori, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
Like, it's heavily inspired by the classic novel Animal Farm, and that's really interesting, because how many anime are inspired by classical, like, American literature like that?
I would say, like, there are, shows that are, or manga or whatever, that do have roots in other mediums, other cultures, but those kind of go, like, I want to say a bit what's the word? Go a bit unnoticed, yeah. Unless you, like, maybe dig deep into, like, interviews or something, you know?
Right, right. All right, Win or Gabby, what aspect do you wish they would talk about more?
Okay, so I was also having some difficulty, figuring out the answer to this. But after thinking for a little bit, I thought maybe the aspect I wish that was talked about more was the first episode of an anime. Because a lot of the times, by the time animes finish, people always like recall the ending. It's all about the ending. The ending is what makes the show. I feel sometimes people forget about the beginning is important. Even though it's like, it's an important first impression, is what probably makes people keep on watching and sets up the plot and, the potential for a series. It's also important, I think, you tie it back to like the ending, contrasting character growth and such. How did they change from the beginning and where do they end up by the end?
Well, I don't have nothing bad to say about that. That's
Nothing
fantastic.
bad.
Yeah. Well, because I agree with that a lot of times too. Because like a lot of times I'll be watching a movie or something, and I was like, oh, the ending sucked. I'm like, but you loved everything else about it, the beginning and the middle one, right? So that doesn't make the whole thing suck, right?
Yeah.
Right. I guess like going on that too, like I'm not someone that like subscribes to the idea of the 3-episode rule or oh, you have to watch half the show to get an idea of what it's worth. Dude, the beginning of the show is sometimes just as important, if not more important than the ending. So yeah, I agree with that point as well.
Yeah, I often sit on the standpoint every part of the story has value, and it might not always be as important in the grand scope of the story, but they have equal value in some form or matter.
Right.
Now, this goes back to the whole discussion of how there's this saying online saying that the ending is paramount, but that quote tends to kind of misinform some people thinking that, the previous, 23 or 11 episodes are quote-unquote irrelevant. What is your, all opinions on that? Like, do you think the ending really is the most important, summed up kind of part of the anime? Or do you think it's kind of like the journey of the anime? Like, this is just a really broad question asked generally.
Oh, God, I feel like the journey is absolutely essential, but I also, because like what Win said, the beginning is fucking paramount. Like, if the show starts off like a train wreck, why the hell would you want to watch more of it?
Right.
You jump in and you're like, well, God, I hate this. And someone's like, well, it does get better later. Why would I have that faith in it if I really hate from the beginning?
That's interesting because like I can kind of, I don't know if Den kind of relates to me on this, but like he knows like me personally, if let's say for example, I can enjoy the whole series, and then if that ending don't have like a proper closing to its content, it changes my whole aspect of the whole series. To me, like that ending is very important to me. If it has like a fucked up ending, sometimes I won't even like this series, even though the adventure is so great towards the finale. If that finale doesn't close this right, it just like makes me feel like I just wasted my time almost with the content. It's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I feel like that sometimes. Maybe because I'm just like getting older. I don't know.
I feel like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you leave off on a bad note. But at the same time, like, if you start off on a bad note, but then what about everything in between? Like, the meat of all of it? Like, what if the beginning and the ending are great, but the middle is not great?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I mean, I experienced a little bit of both. Like, I wish I can, like, compare a series right now, but I really can't because I'm like...
a show I can think of that I think the beginning and ending are great of, but I think the middle is okay, is Terra in Residence or Zankyo no Terror. I really think the beginning and ending of that are great, but the middle is very shaky.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a great example. Like, yeah, like it has a very good impression episode where you like, wow, okay, I'm really liking this. Is very refreshing. And then like in the middle half, you like, where's the direction is going? I'm not really getting it. You know what I'm saying? And then that ending, you like, wow, it ended real great. But then what's happening in the middle half? So yeah, I totally get you on that. But I don't know, Cap. It's just like, to me, like when I watch the series now, I'm just like, I experience it so much because I watch seasonal. So if that finale doesn't hit for me, I'm like, wow, it really impacts me a lot. I don't even care if like, I know it kind of like sound like jaded or something like that. Say if the first episode is very great, but if that finale don't hit, I'd just be like, wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I know Dyna's a journeyman for the most part, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's kind of a simplistic thought, but if I enjoyed 23 episodes of something only for one episode to ruin it, I enjoyed 23 out of the 24. So, this is kind of more of a quantity kind of argument.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, one without the other makes it irrelevant, because if you have like a lot of build up and no payoff, that's just disappointing. But if you have like no build up and a payoff, it doesn't really pay off in the end. You don't really care when that payoff hits, you know? So I'd say it'd make it irrelevant if you didn't have either of them.
Yeah, I know, Dyna, you like this anime, but most people hate it. Brynhilde in the Darkness has a lot of build-up that I did not care about, and so when the ending happened, I was like, well, why the fuck do I care? Why do I care? I wanted the bad stuff to happen to them.
That's so fucked
Man, I feel you there.
That's so fucked up.
My guilty pleasure, no.
Oh my god, he just destroyed it. How could you, Cap? How could you?
All right, so moving on to the next question. This one is from my buddy Grebo. If you were a superhero, what would you call yourself, and what would your superpowers be, or what would you have as a superpower? Let's start with Nuvo, because we all know Nuvo has already got the physique of a superhero. So,
Cap, don't do this, man. We too early, and don't do that, man.
what do you think? What do you think, Dyna? We just call him the abs.
Oh my god.
And then it's, oh my god, like Dyna, his partner could be Gabs, and it could be the abs and Gabs.
Oh my god. You know what, man? Oh man. Look, man, I love the hype, man. I mean, I'm just fit out here like a Korean boy. That's it, man. I don't know about, like, you know, I don't know, man.
Abs that can deflect bullets and impress the ladies.
Hey, Cap, man, I can't even think of the name after you just threw that abs at me, man. I can't even think of the name. Man, you might as well call me abs, man. Deflected bullets.
Wonderful. Well, that means we have Nuvo, so let's go to Marvin. What would you be?
Dude, I'm Marvin the Shark. What else can I be? I'm
man.
Shark Boy, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, dude. I gotta be Shark Boy. That's gotta be me. That's
Shark
me.
Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I don't even have to come up with my own original character. I've already got it made. I already started a movie, man. That's me.
Exactly.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Young but more grown up and a much better looking Taylor Lautner we have here with us today, Marvin the Shark.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to ruin his career, man. He's just going to keep going.
There's another name to call me by.
Does that mean that Gabby is Lava Girl then?
Oh, that
That
could
could
work.
be my
They're a
Lava
couple
Girl.
in the movie, aren't they? That works.
I inferred, basically.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was just trying to figure out who fucks who in that movie. Like, I don't know, man.
Whoa.
There's a few characters in there, a few too many.
In the movie, it might be confusing, but in real life, I hope you're not that confused, my friend.
Nah, dude. I won't lose the way, man. I'm Shark Boy. I know it. I got my instincts, man.
I smell
man.
blood.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh no! Oh god, he's on the hunt. Beware.
There you go.
There may be a lot of ladies in the sea, but he found the one for him.
Wow.
And there she is.
Oh, yeah. And I had to go on land for that.
Whoa,
Ooh,
land
yeah.
shark.
Land shark.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's why I'm Shark
Oh,
Boy.
man.
I got the legs to crawl up out of the water and onto land,
so does this
alright?
mean you have a top half of a shark and a bottom half of a human?
Alright, that's not as cool as, what I was envisioning, but we can go with that. We can go
Oh
with that.
man.
Man, he's human where it counts.
And there you go.
Well, Dyna, what about you? What would be your superhero name and power?
Gosh. Honestly, I never really thought about this question, but I would probably just stick with the current name that I have, since hint hint is not actually my name, but so I'll just keep that. In terms of power, I don't know.
How about dynamite?
I was
Hey.
thinking the same thing.
You could
Dynamite!
be like Bakugo or something. But like personality would be exactly the opposite. Oh, I'm sorry. Bah!
Yeah, that explosive attitude is definitely very suitable for me. I don't know. I guess I'll just probably go with the superpower that I've always wanted since I was a kid. I guess just the typical time travel power, but that's just me.
That's always fun. Don't you fuck up time though, man. I'm counting on you to make sure that this land shark can still find his lava girl.
Gotta make sure that
Exactly.
he walks on land in one piece.
There you go.
Just make sure it doesn't take as long as One Piece, because then he's gonna be upset. He's gonna be like, "Why is it taking 2 decades?"
So does this mean that he has to walk into a volcano to get to Lava Girl?
Probably, yeah. But he's tough. Don't worry about it.
I can do it, man. I'm a magma shark. I got it.
Magma shark.
No matter what the circumstances, he is that kind of shark. He adapts like nobody. Just like he adapts his name, he adapts his shark.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, it's tough because like I like teleporting, but at the same time, I would really want the ability to turn into a selkie, which if people don't know what that is the ability to turn into a seal when you hit water.
Why? That's interesting. Why would you want that? That's interesting.
I love seals, favorite animal. So I'd probably just stick with Doki, because then I'd be a cute transforming seal person. Then I could do all sorts of like, underwater rescue and other stuff like that. And plus, I could be a fucking seal. I could sit there and look weird and cute at the same time. I'd be like, that's Doki right there. That flubber monster.
Killer whales are hunting.
That's right. I'm friends with a shark, and he would help me if I need be.
So this means 2 out of 5 people here have now said they want to turn into aquatic animals. There you go. Oh, sorry. No, I'm already an aquatic animal. I don't have to turn into it.
You are. You also have the ability to adapt when need be.
Oh yeah, I'm talented.
All right, so we got Doki, Dyna, Marvin the Shark, Lava Girl, and the Abs.
You know what I mean?
It's the Avengers right here.
Man, that's just next level shit right there, bro.
Call us up, Disney. You got a new fucking movie anthology coming.
Oh yeah, dude. The Kitsu cinematic universe. It's coming.
Oh, I like that.
Oh my god, that'd be so dope.
I have the Lord Fox, Josh's origin story about how a hummingbird saved his life.
Yes.
That makes for a great segue. So how about we get into the interview? So Dyna, ask our lovely host their first actual question that isn't from our lovely listeners. Thank you, Kynes and Grebo, for your questions, though. We really do appreciate them.
Alrighty, so first question is really simple. How did you discover Kitsu, and what really stood out about this place that made you want to stay here? Gabby, I'll ask you first.
Okay, so back in the good old days, about 5 years ago, I used to watch Podtaku a lot. I watched Glass Reflection. They had a link, I think, in the description of Hummingbird, so that was Kitsu back then. And so I didn't know what it was. I had never heard of it. So I just went on Hummingbird and I discovered it was an anime tracking site. And I already had a Mal, but I was like, you know what, I want to join Hummingbird. So I did. And I discovered the community there was really cool. There was a lot of nice people. I made a lot of friends there. And I really enjoyed it. So I've been with Hummingbird slash Kitsu for past 5 years or so now. So I've been there for a good while. And I'm really happy I found it, because without it, I wouldn't have found Caleb, so.
Oh, very cute. And how about you, Caleb?
So I could just be basic.
Wait.
That's the first time you call me Caleb in 4.5 years. You're not gonna start tonight, Dyna.
Oh man, this is the way he slid that in there like it was all casual though.
Actually to go back 4.5 years, that's when I met Dyna, I met Nuvo. Though my memories of Nuvo from back then are a bit more vague. I met some other guys, shout outs to, the boys, Dark and Isaac. Yeah, they told me about this site, Kitsu. Because I had met them through the site World of Anime. Ooh, yikes. I'm not going to get into that horror story, but I met them through it. They invited me on to, Hummingbird. And yeah, I've just stuck around ever since. And they stuck me with the nickname Marvin. And that's me now, And so I'm on Kitsu. And that's pretty much it, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful, not Marvin. Well, that's pretty great. I always love... So you guys are both long-time users then, it seems like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, not Marvin, are you a 2013 user as well?
Yeah, November 2nd, 2013 was when my original account was created.
What about you, Gabby? Are you...
December 2013.
Oh, yeah, so you guys are both older users than I am, actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should take this Kitsu podcast.
Yeah, maybe. I'm the youngest... I think I'm the youngest user out of the 5 of us. I guess seniority rules. Oh, it's all over now. I bring them on and they take over my podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, lovely people, how did you discover anime? We going ladies first, so Gabs, how did you discover anime? I'm very interested.
Ladies first?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess, just kind of ignoring, always knowing kind of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend, I'm still friends with her, who I met in about the 3rd grade. And apparently she was raised in like with anime. Her mom was an anime fan, her older sister was an anime fan, she was an anime fan. So she had all these like DVDs and VHSs of anime. And I got curious about it, and so we decided to watch an anime together. It's called Gals, and I really liked it. It was very different. It was kind of adult from what I was used to. I don't think I realized it was a cartoon really, but it wasn't. I didn't realize it was. I didn't realize if it was a cartoon or not, but like, I really liked it. And so from there, I remember I would sometimes, watch YouTube videos of anime that was posted, of course. That's kind of like, before like whatever Kiss or Crunchyroll, before I knew any of that, I just watched it on YouTube. I found stuff on YouTube. That's how I found a lot of my older shows there. So I discovered more and more about anime as I went on, and here I am now. So it's really cool. It's been a cool journey for sure.
That's awesome.
That sounds like an awesome journey to me, especially the way you discover it. So Marv, my buddy, longtime friend, you know how we do. How did you discover anime, dude? I know the story, but this for the listeners out there in the community. How did you discover anime?
Wait, you know this story. Wait, when have I ever told you this story, Nuvo?
Nuvo knows every story. He's just...
All right, he knows it. All right, I'll give him it. He knows it. His abs probably told him it. Anyways.
Oh my god.
All right, so there was this YouTube channel that I used to watch in like 2010, 2011, called The Cartoon Block. He did a lot of cartoon drawings or whatever, tutorials on how to draw cartoon characters, right? He did like a few anime characters here and there, and I remember at the end of one of his videos, he was doing a giveaway for 2 figures, one of which was a Kingdom Hearts figure, I believe, and the other was a Death Note figure of, Light. And so I guess I got curious about it, went and watched Death Note all in one day, one sitting. Still to this day, the most episodes of an anime I've seen in one day. That was, I don't know how I did it, but from there, one of my friends was into anime. Second anime I ever finished was Elfen Lied, of all things. She recommended that to me. And, to an extent, though, I kind of always knew about anime. I had friends that, watched some of it, like, Pokemon, Naruto, whatever. And my brother was into anime in, like, the 90s and early 2000s, It had always been kind of around. I just hadn't, like, gotten into it myself until about 2011.
Sound like an awesome journey.
Well, yeah, wonderful. Yeah, it's a nice. You guys have both had very, very nice long journeys with both of them.
Yes, yeah. I mean, nice journeys. I mean, make my journey look like shit, man. I mean,
Alrighty, so next question is, how has anime changed for either of you since you first started? And has it stayed the same, or has it really changed since you began?
I would say for me, anime has changed a lot for me since I first began watching. I didn't realize that shows aired, like, weekly. I thought it was just, like, they come out in bulk or something. I don't know what I thought. Just came across it on YouTube, like I said. So
I thought the same thing for a long time myself, too.
Yeah, I was pretty, like, narrow-minded about that, and I was completely unaware of all of that was going on. And then once I started discovering, like, Giguk and Arcada and things like that, I started realizing, so there are shows that air, and, discovering like Annie Chart and such, and so I could keep track of what's coming out in the season. And I started watching seasonal stuff about 4 or 5 years ago. So once I started watching seasonal stuff, I started realizing, there's way more to anime than, shoujo stuff that I used to watch a lot. So I've been seeing like a lot of great shows, Hunter x Hunter, Galactic Heroes, like all these grand shows. Yes, I am the ultimate elitist. That's correct. So yeah, my opinion of anime has changed a lot, more than just just being like entertainment or like a cartoon. It is something that I can think about a lot and take lessons from. I think, I just like anime. Anime's cool.
I think that, goddamn right, anime is cool, and that's if you don't disagree and you're listening, fuck you. No, Also, yes, Marvin did mention she is an elitist, so if you have an opinion different than her, you're wrong. That's the fact.
You.
Yes.
You were wrong. So if you want to know superior taste, she's the one to go to.
I have the 10 out of 10 taste.
Oh gosh, don't look at my favorites.
So I guess for me, Yikes, dude, I don't know where to begin. Like, I've went through so many different, like, phases trying to figure out what I liked in anime, you know? Like, learning more about writing or characters or, you know, animation or whatever. Like, I don't want to sound pretentious whenever I say it refined my taste, but it kind of did a little bit.
Don't worry, you will be.
Yeah, all right. I'll turn the pretentiousness up to 11. All right. Yeah, like, so I just pulled up my old Mal to, you know, go and take a look at it. My top 5 anime back then were Higurashi, which I'm lukewarm on now. Sensei Kaiori, still one of my favorites. Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, it's a pretty good movie. Mirai Nikki, absolute fucking hate it. Open lead, I have, you know, a soft spot in my heart for it, but it's fucking trash. So, like, you know, I had, like, a thing for, like, horror shows, fucked up, like, gory shows, and then also dramas that made me want to cry out my eyes, like Angel Beats and Planad, and that's what my taste used to be.
I mean, you still do. You like Berserk and Fullmetal Alchemist, and they fall in those categories too.
Yeah, I guess so, but whenever I say that, I mean, like, keyworks, things like keyworks, romances, you know?
Right.
I was, like, really big into slice of life romance shows back then. I like Karikano now. That's about all I've got anymore compared to before. Yeah, my taste shifted drastically. I used to not like shonen at all. Now I fucking embrace it, man. I fucking love shonen. That shit's fun as hell, you know?
Shouldn't represent.
Yeah, my taste has changed quite a lot. Yeah, it's went through a lot of different phases, but I don't know. I'm happy to be where I am now. I've had about the same taste for the past year or two, and I don't think it's really going to be budging anymore. I think it's now that fine coffee blend. It's nicely blended. I don't even fucking drink coffee, but it's blended well now, you know? It's there. It's good. I'm sticking to it now.
The elitist couple.
Yeah, I'm an elitist too. So.
Low key.
Elitist couple to the max right there.
Heck yeah.
I want to accept any less.
All right. Let's keep this show on the road. So, all right, I got a question for you. What anime has really impacted your time with the medium the most? Like, for instance, like what series or movie like really got you into the feels or impact you, make you want to cry, that type of thing?
Let's see. This is quite difficult because you can say emotional could mean like make me burst out crying. Like Hunter x Hunter did that to me. Or really feel the impact and weight of the story and characters like Showa. But oddly enough, I'm just gonna go with like Space Brothers for this one.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know if I've like. There's something about Space Brothers that I just really admire. It is a very like optimistic show, but at the same time, it's realistic. It's not an idealistic show, I'd say.
Right.
Things don't always go the way as planned, but sometimes, you know, that ends up being what's best for the character. And I don't know, there's something like really admirable about, even if you're kind of late in life, you always have time and opportunity to change where you are, your position in life now, and strive for what you dream for what you want to achieve. And I love all the characters there. I think they're all amazing. They're all fleshed out. They have personalities and goals, and you want them to reach them. It's just a great journey show. I love it so much. It's a 10 out of 10.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, Space Brothers is a wonderful series that I try to urge people to dive into, but it's like a special series, so it's like a like and hate it though. But you pretty much laid it out so perfectly. Preach it, girl. Preach it.
Preach.
Let's say I've only seen the pilot and I absolutely loved it, so I definitely want to see more of it.
Chab, I'm trying to tell you, they illustrated our lives.
Yeah, I know. I'm just a busy motherfucker who doesn't have time to watch 98 episodes of anime.
99.
I've seen one.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, when you watch it, you can be like, bruh, that's being you if we was like blood related. They basically made us into an anime.
Are you saying we're not brothers?
I mean, we is, but not on paper, man. Not on paper.
That's true. If we were brothers, I would have some of that, like the ridiculous, like just I mean, like that body you have is just not fair.
Okay, you know what? Okay, Marv, we need to transition. We need to transition to you right now, man, because he's gonna go into something else.
All right, Nuvo, I see how it is. You want to just derail it off onto me. All right.
Yeah, totally. So Marv, like, give me your answer, please.
Right. Like, I mean, it's my favorite fucking anime. It has to be Welcome to the NHK. You've heard other people say this. Other people, will give you plenty of reasons about how they related to it or, whatever, how it changed their life. But man, dude, like, for me, Welcome to the NHK was kind of a fundamental, like, part of my growth, I feel, for the past few years. Welcome to the NHK didn't just, like, affect me on an emotional level. That, show got me to get up off my butt and go change my life. Like,
right.
I only have very few series that have ever affected me in, that same way. Like, Oyasumi Poon Poon and Welcome to NHK, those are kind of like the two. There's not much else, But yeah, NHK, like, a lot of people will call it like this really depressive show that like it will make you sad and it'll make you hate life. No, like, dude, to me, NHK is about like struggling people trying to get back out into the world and better their lives and, having to go through those like failures at doing it, at getting better. It's hard, but being someone that went through those exact things, trying to get like out of that hole, NHK is like the only thing I've seen that properly like showcase that. To me, man, Welcome to NHK is like super close to my heart, very personal with that series, and I know a lot of other people are for good reason, man. Show's great. Fucking love it.
It's awesome. Should probably watch it soon sometime too.
Totally. Dan, you never watched Welcome to the NHK?
No, I haven't.
Dan, shame on you. Shame on
Yeah,
you.
me either. I think I've seen 2 episodes and I got busy.
What's with you watching like part of the show and just stopping?
Yeah, well, there was this time where I was starting shows, and then, shit, now I'm busy with work, and then I'm like, well, fuck, now I don't feel like going back to that show I just started. I'll start something else. Oh, well, I'll keep watching this now. I'm not busy. NHK has been, well, because Space Brothers was this thing I did last year where I watched an episode of a bunch of anime just to test them out. NHK is one of those shows that just got unlucky. That's been on my back burner for like 3 years, and I'm like, why the fuck haven't I gone back to it yet?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, hope you enjoy it when you go back to it. Same with Space Brothers too, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in both. I swear to God, if I could listen to people talk about all day about why a show is important to them, I would, because I just sit there listening to you guys talk about Space Brothers and NHK, and I'm just like, it's fucking bliss. Just
it's two amazing series. You gotta check it out, Cap.
It's not even that. It's just you can see how when they talk about it. I know it's metaphorical, but you can see like just like the smile from them on the inside of just how happy that the shows make them feel.
Oh yeah,
and how crucial and important they are, not just as shows to them, but as people. Like if they had to talk about like why is anime worth watching to anybody, the show, there's something really amazing about it. You might not see it the same way I do, but it's really awesome.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool whenever you can just get that series that you can just like, hold close to you, near and dear,
Definitely.
No other feeling can replace it.
Exactly. That's when you can tell like a series is more than like a series itself. It's like more like wonderful.
What I have to ask next is, what is it like watching anime as a couple? Really, give us the juicy details.
Please tell us.
Oh, it's like a ton of fun because we usually pretty much have the same opinion on something. We like it a lot or we don't really like it. So we can, either like tear into it or we can just have a blast with it. I always like, discussing it and making jokes about it. And it's a really great time.
And that brings me to a really quick question. But has there ever been a show in which you two really had contrasting opinions on it?
That we watched together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know that harshly where it's just like, dude, I fucking hate this show. And she's like, no, but I love it. Like we've had some varying like, I give it a 6, she gives it an 8 or something like that. Or, I give some a 10, she gives it, an 8, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have like a spreadsheet. We have a spreadsheet that keeps track of scores that each of us have. And nothing is ever differing more than like a 2 for our scores.
Right.
So we're pretty much in sync usually with our feelings about something.
Right. And I guess what's great about that too, right, is that I'm comfortable in knowing that like I'm not just copying her opinion or she's copying mine, one way or the other. Because, we'll watch a show and we'll just be feeling like similar things. Maybe not always exactly the same. We feel it in differing amounts, but we think on a similar wavelength when it comes to shows, So when we're watching a show and we're not feeling it, we're not vibing with it, we can just kind of get that air and we're like, God, what the fuck is everyone talking about with this show? Ancient Magic Sprite. What? I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, it's cool. It's great being able to watch and discuss the show with someone that you love and, have a good time with it.
I find it interesting because, so you guys say you have very similar tastes overall with them, basically, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Me and Catherine have such different tastes.
Oh, yeah.
But we watch anime together all the time.
Yeah, so how does that work for you guys?
It's interesting. So we have the system. Anytime we're sharing shows with each other back and forth. Kind of like I'm sure you guys do that too. So it's basically, all right, I pick a show out of her library that I want to watch, and she picks a show out of my library she wants to watch. Instead of being like, oh, I want to share the show with you, we're actually picking ourselves from each other's library. Because we actually did a trade-off, too, of 2 different shows, and she was lukewarm on the show I gave her, and I didn't like the show she gave me.
Oh, yeah.
But we both wanted to see, because we're both like, oh, I like this show. I want to see what the other person thinks.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
So, yeah, it's very interesting because I'm kind of like you guys. For the most part, when I watch anime, I'm naturally very analytical when I watch it. I think a lot. I have a lot of reasonings behind why I feel the way I do, and I can talk all goddamn day about why I think that. Catherine isn't like that.
Okay.
She experiences the stories, but it's all about the emotions. That's what the show feels for her. And if they don't vibe, she's not down for it.
Right, so she's just going by the vibes, yeah. Okay.
And she's like a Nuvo, and that's why Nuvo knows probably how she feels when she watches shows. It's all about the way he makes you feel.
Yeah, if the vibes ain't there, I'm just like, it's okay.
I actually really like that because then when we do discuss anime, it's 2 completely different perspectives meeting each other.
Right.
I'm watching an anime and I'm like, it's amazing how they emphasized on the character's speech more by completely cutting out the music instead of emphasizing music to make it really just all of the sound zone in on that. She's like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that. I was just paying attention to what they were saying.
I don't give a fuck about that. Why are you telling me this?
And she's not usually that dissenting about it. But
I'm just joking, man.
But yeah, it's fascinating how, depending on how your dynamic is, it's always going to vary.
Right.
Nonetheless, it is adorable and cute.
Yeah, it is a wonderful way to share a hobby you both love with each other and learn from one another at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, next question is, have either of you ever attended any anime-related events? And if so, how did they go?
So unfortunately, I haven't gone to an anime convention.
Oh, no.
So hopefully one day I can. I really want to go. But I have gone to 3 anime movie events, playing in theaters for limited release or whatever. First one I went to was Your Name, which actually happened to fall on my birthday. So I was able to watch that on my birthday. And the second time was I got to see In This Corner of the World. And that was a really cool time. I don't know, it felt even fresher because I was just by myself. Last time with Your Name, I was with 2 of my friends. But this time I was all alone in the theater. And it was a really interesting experience. I was a little nervous, to be honest. I'm like, oh, I'm a weeb. I'm coming to see an anime film. But, it was cool seeing other people there. And, people of varying ages. I saw a lot of old people, surprisingly. That was interesting, but I saw quite a few old people, and seeing all these people together, it was a really awesome experience. So not too long thereafter, I went to go see Silent Voice.
Nice.
Got a nice souvenir with my friend, little postcards of the characters, and A Silent Voice was really good. And again, I really enjoyed my experience there, so hopefully I'll be able to go back and see another anime film soon.
That reminds me, since it's coming out soon, are you going to be able to go to the limited release of the Free movie? Because you're a fan of Free, right?
Yeah. I want to go. I might go. I haven't bought my ticket yet. I should probably go. I will probably find a lot of ladies there. Maybe some dudes there who appreciate the swimming abs. But that can't compete with Nuvo, unfortunately.
Oh my god! Oh my god, don't do this to me, Gabs. Don't do this to me.
Good way to tie it all in together.
Oh my god.
I know. We got Nuvo's abs, we got a shark, but they still both can't compete with, like, Rin and the rest of the boys of the Iwatobi Club.
Oh my god.
What about you, Marvin?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much the opposite of Gabby. Never went to, any anime films in theaters. I went to one anime convention. That's about it. I live in the butt crack of Texas, man. Like the little thing known as West Texas, and there's not much going on over here. Lots of nothing. It takes 5-6 hours to get to most conventions to Dallas or whatever. I don't know, man. Like, conventions are cool and all, but like I've never wanted to go that far for one, But not too long ago, a few years back, they started up one in the town over from mine. And it started out as like a really small like convention. It's called Koyakon. Started out in a library, probably like 50, max 100 people going to it. And then the next year, I didn't go first year. I went second year. My brother went first year, and then he took me second year. And second year, there's like probably 1,000 people there. The numbers ramped up. They had panels and everything. It was like a very low key, small convention, but it was cool. Got to go up. I went up on 2 different panels. I went and played like a trivia game and shit, dude. Man, the best moment fucking of my whole entire life is whenever I walk up onto the panel and I'm wearing a fucking Evangelion shirt and it's the trivia game, right? And the question is, what is this theme song from? And it fucking plays the Ava theme. And I'm like, bitch, this is my show. Like,
it's my time to shine.
Yeah. Dude, I got everyone laughing in there, man. I like slapped my chest. I was like throwing my arms up. I'm like, I say Evangelion, man.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, it was cool. Would love to go again. They took a year off, but once they get it going again, I'd love to go see it again.
If more events would open around you like a lot more frequently, would you go to pretty much all of them or some of them?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's just kind of hard, whenever everything's so far away. But if everything was, a little bit closer, if they had some anime movies playing around here, that would be cool. Maybe it'll get to that point, one day. Some years down the line, maybe it'll play at least like somewhat smaller towns or cities or whatever, So that would be cool. I would love to go to more conventions or an anime film or something like that. Unfortunately, I just, like I said, live in the butt crack of Texas. So
The Lost World.
Oh yeah, the Lost World for sure, man.
Yeah, it's just Lost World. Just a little bit. I understand. All right, so my question will be, you guys got like any merchandise like real stand out in the medium that you think like is awesome for you?
Yeah, so actually I really love the Full Metal Alchemist manga. Huge fan of that. My favorite manga so far. But the UK, I think, released like this Blu-ray. It's like the ultimate edition, limited to 1,000 copies, was sold out. But it basically, the cover over the art book and like the DVD case and such, it's like the Gate of Truth. It's like super cool. I thought it's like a piece of art on its own. But yeah, it's like really cool. It's really pretty. But it's sold out.
Oh no!
I would totally buy it just for getting the Gate of Truth in my shelf.
Right.
But it's beautiful. I'm a big fan of Full Metal Alchemist, so I thought this was a really cool piece of merchandise.
That's awesome.
And we will. She sent us a special link for that, so we will link that down below in our description for everybody to look at if they're curious of the beautiful thing she's talking about.
Yes, it looks lovely. I'm looking at the link now. I'm jealous. God damn it!
It's like looking at Nuvo's abs.
You know what, man? I love you guys. You praise me too much. Marv, let's just slide into you. So any type of merchandise that you just adore, man.
All right, so the thing for me, right, is that like I'm a collector, so I'm always buying stuff, There's always things I'm wanting. Like, it's never just like, I want that one Blu-ray maybe one day. Nah, dude, I'm like, I want a couple thousand more volumes of manga. I need to get all of my favorites on Blu-ray, like...
Right.
Dude,
for sure.
I like buying all that stuff. I love buying games, CDs, movies, whatever, dude.
Mhm.
But if I had to limit it down to one thing, thing I'm wanting is the fucking JoJo Blu-ray. JoJo's my fucking my
Yes!
jam. But dude, I'm so fucking lazy. I don't want to pay fucking $50 for JoJo right now. I'm like, dude, I've seen the show 4 times already, man. Like, when am I gonna watch it on Blu-ray? I don't know, but like, I want it.
I understand, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll have to pick it up sometime, man.
I'll just tack on a really quick small question to this. If you actually have any like merchandise, what is your favorite merchandise that you currently own?
Fuck. I guess for me, I own a like a sealed copy of the limited edition for Persona 3 FES. That's not anime, but yeah, close enough.
Anime related.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. My holy grail is the fucking recent Akira collection that came out. The big old hardcovers. Dude, it's so good, man. It's tasty. Yeah.
Nice.
It went on sale, so I picked that up, man. It fried my taste receptors, dude. It was crazy.
No wonder your throat's messed up.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm still recovering, like, half a year later, dude. It's still hard.
Nice.
10 days, more like 6 months, am I right? What about you, Gabby?
I'd say the silent voice, like little postcard I got. I know I got it for like free going to the movie, but it's just like a really beautiful illustration of the character Shoko, and I just like it's so pretty, and it makes me happy looking at it. And it's like I went to see an anime movie in theaters.
Right, so it like has that like experience tied into it as well.
Yeah, my friend who I went to the movie with, she has the other character, so there's actually 3 postcards they handed out, but we didn't get the third one because we didn't have a third companion. So,
Damn
but
it.
you know what? Maybe one day I'll go out and be like, I'm gonna get the other 2 and just have like the trinity. But yeah, that's my prize anime merchandise possession.
Nice.
A nice, simple, beautiful answer. And I'm sure Dyna slightly he's like, yeah, go and see those movies in theaters because I love those movies too that you mentioned. Because I may have argued with him for a whole podcast about those. I don't know. Maybe episode 2 and 3 of our podcast may have been about those. But before I get onto the lightning round, I am curious. Was there anything in this podcast specifically that you two would love to see us do in the future?
I really like these like guest podcast stuff. I think it's really cool. Get to know somebody and have all these questions here. I had a lot of fun in this podcast, so I think it's really cool if you can invite some more people on, because I'd be really curious to see other people's responses to similar questions.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And what about the not Marvin Shark?
My answer, but to quote what I said specifically was to bring on interesting personalities, man. You got to get like some cool people. Someone might say like, try and get the industry, people on here. Dude, I just go get some like Kitsu members, random nobodies like Gabby and I, or Connor, or whoever, that you've got on here. Just get someone with interesting personality. That's what, we're here to listen to, If I want, to hear anything else, I could just go look up an interview, a written interview on A&N or something. Not this Kitsu podcast, I want to see some interesting personalities from this website be brought on. That's what I would love to see.
For sure.
And as a small teaser for everybody, there is a strong likelihood that next podcast there will be the return of Josh. He has personally messaged me and asked me, and so most likely next podcast Josh shall be on.
Hey, Cap, how you just gonna drop that bomb like that? You know that, my height level is...
I mean, Dyna knew already. He's too,
okay, Cap. I see how it is, man. I see how it
is. It's okay, Nuvo.
I see how it is, man.
Nuvo, it's cool. You, Gabby, and I, we could go make the Kitsu cinematic universe on our own.
Yeah, exactly, man. When abs attack, man, I'm ready for it, man. Oh, man.
Well, me and Dyna are always trying to plan stuff for the podcast in the background, and Dyna was messaged personally the other day about it, and then Josh messaged me too.
I'm so psyched for it. Woo!
Yeah, we won't be doing an interview for Josh, though, if everyone's curious. He's actually, whatever topic I come up with, he's just going to be a normal part of the discussion. And I do plan, if I'm ever having people like Gabby, Marvin, or past hosts like Haitaka and Connor, if they're on again, they won't be interviewed. They will be normal members, just like Dyna and Nuvo and myself, and they'll be just full on discussing whatever I decide to pick for us.
Dude, you're getting this all wrong. Don't you know the modern world, modern entertainment world, it's all about the remakes. You gotta remake the interview. Exact same questions, Even get a transcript and we'll do this right. Like
Oh, my sweet summer child. You see, I am actively fighting against them.
Man,
All right, man.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to remake that whole conversation with the creator when we dive into the Power Rangers thing. I don't know if I can do that again, man.
You made Josh not so happy, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Josh wants to personally come fight me on the podcast, so I'm prepared. All right, so now we move on to the lightning round, brought to everyone, of course, by me. All right, so these are going to be quick fire questions. Of course, ladies first. I don't know why sharks think they would go first here, but all right. So, who picks the better anime to watch when you two pick stuff?
Caleb always chooses stuff from like his favorites to watch, and they're always at least an 8 out of 10 or higher.
Okay, so she says you. What, do you agree?
I said me because I always choose to rewatch my favorites. Dude, she picks the seasonals. I pick the shows that we watch, like, besides the seasonals. And usually I love rewatches, man. So I just pick my favorites.
Nice. Yeah, well, I guess that does kind of weigh it in your favor, doesn't it? All right. Are you a seasonal or a binge watcher?
We suck at seasonals, at least catching up with them. Like, after the first few episodes, we fall off. So we've been binge watching a lot of stuff. We need to get more back on Monster again, but we've been watching a lot of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. That's fun.
Pokemon. Are you guys watching like Indigo League type stuff? Or
So we're gonna watch all
wonderful.
of it.
Yeah, we're watching all 1,000 plus episodes, my dude. We're doing it. Wish us luck.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to do that, but I just never committed to it. I watched about 50 episodes or so and then dropped off.
Oh man.
Oh, we're nearing like 20.
Because I grew up with Indigo and Johto and Hoenn and had seen all that stuff, and then I was like, I'm gonna rewatch all of that and then watch all the other shit after. But I just watched rewatched the first 50 episodes of Indigo.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, guys. Do you use any other anime-based sites?
Yeah, Mal.
Mal.
Basically, just Mal.
I did use briefly Anime Planet, I believe, but like, dude, man, that's no shade, but dude, like, it's dry out there. It's really dry out there.
Well, World of Anime be poppin'.
World of Anime now. That's the site, man. I want to be here if not for World of Anime. I want to have met Nuvo, Dyna. I want to have eventually met, my girlfriend. I want to have met Doaks, the most important person in my life. Like, like.
I was named last just for that reason.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, World of
man.
Anime, praise you. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now you cannot say yourselves or each other. Who creates your favorite content on all of Kitsu?
Ooh, that's a good one. I blinked out on this question. Man, I think back when she was more active, but Silver always cracked me up. Like, she was like a super fangirl, like Osamata-san and like Initial D, of course, And just seeing like her memes and shit posting and stuff is like hilarious to me. I connect to her on a fangirl level.
Yeah, well, hers were never annoying. They were always funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious. I don't think she's posted a lot recently. Not sure, but yeah, she's great.
But she's been a lot more busy with work, I believe, as been holding her up. Being an adult.
Responsibility, man.
All right, so we got Silver.
I have to give like props to you three, to be honest. Nuvo, Dyna, Doaks. You three, like, I'm not just saying this because like, I'm here in call with you guys. Dude, I only have like a pool of 30 people to choose from. I'm not that active on Kitsu, man. I want to get more active, but whatever. You guys are like make up like 10% of the people I follow. But yeah, like, between, Dyna making them spicy banners for everyone and, contributing to this podcast or, Doaks, like, I know you put in tons of work on the stuff you do. That's cool. And Nuvo, like, dude, there's no one that brightens that side up more than you do, so yeah.
Bless everyone.
Dude,
Dude. Blessed Washi, man.
You know how it be out here, man. Y'all making me blush, though, low-key, though. So much appreciated.
Yeah, and I think I speak for all three of us. We really do appreciate the thanks. We know Dyna makes the best content, though.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, just listen to his voice alone brings you to tears.
Dude, I used to ask Dyna to speak for me when I first met him. I was like, Dyna, speak for me, man. Like legit. Not you're joking, man. His voice, it's good. It's soothing, man. I can go to sleep to his voice.
It's like an angel on earth, and we have him as our friend. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed.
I feel like I'm being gently hugged every single time I hear his voice. It's wonderful.
Oh my god! Like literally, the first time I heard Den's voice, a tear came out my eyes, man.
Wait,
I lied to
real
you,
talk,
man.
guys. Right? Can you imagine just laying down, right, with your head on Nuvo's abs, listening to Dyna just softly whisper in your ear while Doaks stares deeply into your eyes. Like, there you go,
Oh my god,
dude.
go ahead, man, go ahead. Oh my god.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Fox.
Oh my god. Mm-mm.
If anybody listening, well, Marvin technically is, so he could do it himself. Maybe we'll ask Marvin to do it. As an artist, draw that, please.
Oh,
I want to see it.
No,
You made me
please.
draw this. Oh boy! All right,
Oh
dude.
my-
Yes,
You
yes,
know, all
take
right.
your time on it.
Back in the day, I did some stuff for Evertaku. That stuff's not getting out because, oh boy, I don't know what's about to happen to this. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
All right, lightning round got derailed there by Nuvo's abs once again.
Oh my god.
Dyna's voice and his abs, man, that's what keeps everything together. You think I'm the captain of this? No. It's my buddies on my left and my right.
Oh my god.
All right, who is your waifu/husbando, and honestly, why are they the best?
Man, I've had so many husbandos. I've been switching around a lot. I just can't commit to a husbando.
Gabby, you whore.
That's her boyfriend. Man, dude, with that reason, I can't fight against it, man. That's too good.
Yeah. Yeah, too many
Oh, man.
husbandos can't commit.
Okay, who is your current
My
husbando?
husbando is Caleb.
Oh,
We're
come
not counting
on.
anime.
Ooh.
Ah.
I don't have a current husbando. You check my Kitsu.
All right, hang on.
I've
Let me
taken
go
him
back
out.
and edit my notes real quick. All right, erase Misaki Nakahara. I'll go with the second note. Real waifu is the lady friend. I think you know who I'm talking about. Haha. Even put that haha in there for emphasis, man. There you go.
Oh, no. I don't have a husbando.
I'm actually the same way, Gabby. Now, because I used to like always have one, but now that I've I think mine on my site just says Godzilla now.
Yeah, dude.
Because
Real talk. Like, we about to fight over that.
nah, I mean I love Godzilla, but I think you're the unequivocal bigger fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do love Godzilla. Man, I've been watching when I was a kid. You're my boy.
So, if you could be in any anime, which anime would it be and why?
Oh, I'm totally gonna be in a JoJo anime. I'm gonna be a JoJo character. I don't care.
Yes,
Not a
yes.
Joestar, okay? But I'll be a JoJo character. I will kick ass. I will have a cool ass stand. I would be part of like Gangstar or something. I'd be like the sidekick of a
Preach it.
JoJo.
Preach it, Gaz.
Though I would probably be the type of character who would die by like the end, to be honest. But you know what? I'd be a JoJo character, and that's one heck of a legacy, man.
There you go. I mean, Gabs, she winning out here, man. She winning. What about you, Marv? What about you, man?
All right, so you know what? I may prefer JoJo, but this, is just as stylistic, man. It's that, it's popping with that cool shit. Redline, dude. Like, would Redline not be the coolest shit? Fucking,
Oh my God.
space racing, like.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god, dude. And that world is like so cool and like interesting despite like there being very little world building. Like,
Right.
dude, it's cool as fuck. I would love, dude, I would be there on the yellow line, go on the red
Yes.
line. Ooh, yeah, man, dude. I'd be screaming the whole time, dude, having fun.
It's like a fun world, man. Fun.
Yeah, dude. Fucking red line would be the best.
Yes. Fuck Fast and Furious. We got Red Line.
All right, so the last lightning round question: if you could remake any anime, what would it be?
I thought long and hard about this, going forth between anime to anime, but it's going to probably be Ice Shield 21. That came out early thousands, man. But One Punch Man artist, right? And that art is stellar in the manga. And then, you see the anime and I'm like,
That's interesting.
early thousands, But it would be totally dope to see that, like, redone, reanimated, be like super fantastic and dynamic and all that, because there are some really cool panels in the manga, and I would really love to see it reanimated. So I would say iShield21.
Yeah, and I feel like Production IG, since Kuroko and Haikyuu, they're the perfect team to do it.
Yeah, they would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, Bones would be nice, but I don't think they're going to commit to something that long.
Yeah, iShield21 is pretty long.
And then if it's Madhouse, it'll never get a second season. So.
Unless they do it all in one go, I guess.
Yeah, sadly. What about you, Not Marvin?
I know a lot of people disagree with me, but man, dude, I would like to just see Madoka with like twice as many episodes as it has. Way more time to flesh it out. Cause like, dude, I went back and forth with Madoka between loving it, hating it, being lukewarm. Dude, I don't know what the fuck I think of that show anymore because it's got so much good in it and it's got a lot of flaws that like come from just how short it was. I believe it was like, I could be wrong. I'm just sharing a secondhand that it was meant to be twice as long as it was. Madoka could have used a lot more time to flesh out its world. It's like non-main characters, side characters. Yeah, like I feel like Madoka is a show that has like a really great show at its core, but it's like so flawed in its structure. Like, it has a good heart, but it kind of a fucked up skeleton, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting metaphor.
Yeah.
Well, that ends the lightning round. Before we move on to current anime talks, which Dyna still keeps nudging me to change the name of that every time I say it. He's like, it's not a good enough name. It's not a good enough name.
Keep it then.
Last time we did a podcast, I mentioned how I really wanted a new season of Chihayafuru. They did announce season 3 of Chihayafuru for fans, so that's super exciting. But yeah, let's do current anime talks. First up, Dyna, since I keep ribbing you and you've been quiet for a while. What have you been watching?
Aside from the recent, currently seasonal shows that I mentioned last time, I just finished the No Game No Life Zero movie.
Did it live up to your expectations?
Yes, it did. I really liked it. And if you like No Game No Life, honestly, this movie is very different from the original No Game No Life. The original No Game No Life was very comedic, lighthearted, funny. No Game No Life Zero is quite dark and quite sad. And it does flesh out the backstory of the entire world and how the 16 races came to be. And honestly, the show is more feels than comedy. And animation is fantastic. So if any of you watch No Game No Life and have a chance to watch the movie, I would recommend it.
I cannot wait because I've seen like a couple of people's reactions to it, and it was basically saying the same thing you were saying within the community, and I was like, man, I cannot wait to watch it. I'm probably gonna watch it my next off day.
Not that much ecchi in the show, and unlike the original series.
For real? Oh my god! So you basically saying this is like gonna be amazing, basically,
All right, Dyna, as someone who hated No Game No Life, tell me, is it worth for me to give it a shot?
I think it's worth giving it a shot simply because I think the reason we didn't like No Game No Life in the first place was because of the ecchi, the ultra lighthearted, and the annoyance of certain characters. I don't really see that in this movie.
Interesting. Okay, I shall keep it in mind. Nuvo, my buddy, my old pal, what have you been watching, my buddy?
Man, I be watching a whole lot of seasons. It's crazy. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of stuff. I've been jet lagged. The daily grind is real out here. I mean, recently, I feel like all my current seasons was starting to get like good. Around this time, everything's starting to get like really, really, really good. Moment by Moment still is a series I think people should still check out. It's very refreshing. People want originality. It's the most original show in the seasonal right now to me. What else I'm watching other than like Darling and Frax? Because we all know that's like the best series in the seasonal right now.
All right, so what about Not Marvin?
For a moment there, I was about to pause and like think, is he talking to me? Yeah, dude, anime? I've been watching Pokemon and that's it, dude. I mean, if I could derail for a moment, I've been like watching documentaries and Breaking Bad and stuff like that. I've been kind of, stepping aside a bit from anime, but
hey man, Breaking Bad's great.
Oh yeah, dude. Great. Gabby and I are about to start the 5th season, so
you're on the tail end of it all.
Like I don't know what's going on, but yeah, dude.
Yeah. The season 5 has got a lot of big surprising moments in it too.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man. Yeah, as far as the anime goes, mainly been Pokemon. We've been kind of putting everything else on the back burner. I haven't had really too much time to watch, stuff with other people. I'm in like the middle of watching JoJo with my dad and then another JoJo watching session with my friend Isaac, Pokemon, Breaking Bad documentaries. That's pretty much it for me.
So goody.
All right, so before we get to Gabby, I have to know which of the 3 starters is best.
Which of the 3 starters for Kanto?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, it depends on, like, we talking full evolutionary line or just
No, just which one you love the most. Which one is most special to you?
Dude, I don't know. It's, like, rough because, like, I have kind of affection for, like, all of them for different reasons. Squirtle was my first Pokemon.
My Charmander sitting on my couch in a hoodie is waiting for your answer.
Exactly.
Dude, but you know what? You know what though? My affection has like shifted, as time's passed from Bulbasaur to Charmander to Bulbasaur. Dude, I fucking love Bulbasaur, man.
Bulbasaur!
Yeah, dude, I just have a thing for grass starters, man. I don't know. I fucking love them. They're good shit.
All right, Gabby, so I know Pokemon is also part of an answer for you, but what else have you been watching?
Pokemon and Pokemon Emerald.
She's just trying to catch them all, man. She's trying to be the very best.
Yeah, heck yeah.
They caught each other's hearts, and now they're catching the Pokemon.
Yeah, there
I
you
catch
go.
it all, yep. I guess outside of that, we've been slacking on Monster, and we should really finish on it because it's super good. I still need to see where it goes. Caleb has already finished it. I'm like, that's unfair.
Yeah.
I want to experience all of Monster.
Yeah, this is a rewatch for me, so.
It's really
Yeah.
good. I mean, it's such a deep series. It's like rewatchable. So definitely, oh my god, when you get to that end,
That's one I haven't seen, but I haven't started it, so it's not another one of those, I promise.
Yeah, Gabby, I think we're about like mid-30s right now, right?
We're like episode
Yeah,
34. We just
okay.
finished.
Sure, about halfway through then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right on. So, before we close up today, I forgot to put it in the outline, but I want both of you to recommend one show for all of our listeners to go watch that you think would be great for them to go see and then come back and talk to us about.
Well, Doaks, I know you did that post the other day, and I said, well, I'm going to be the elitist here and say Galactic Heroes. But speaking from the heart, Space Brothers is a marvelous show, and I think it's something everyone should definitely experience, and I think a lot of people can find a lot from it. So I would recommend Space Brothers.
Alrighty. And you, Sharky Boy?
So, I know it's like surged in popularity compared to like maybe a couple years back, but I've always been a fan of Karikano, and I still feel like it's probably a thing out of like, I don't know, say my top 10 that gets like the least amount of love even now. I don't know, man, like everyone knows Evangelion, but not as many people talk about, Ano's follow-up, Karikano. It has a lot of those like elements that made Evangelion great in terms of, say direction or whatever, To me, it has like a little bit more of that like emotional warmth, I would say. Makes it easier to connect with the series. I mean, I do prefer Eva ultimately, but Karikano is great. If you still haven't seen it, I'm going to make that push to keep making it even more popular. So, yeah, go out, check out Karikano.
That's pretty much what I did with Cross Game, so I understand. Alright, so that is Space Brothers and Karikano for everybody listening, and I will link those both in below for everyone. If you have not seen either, go watch them, which I guess that's me as well. Before we finish off tonight, I want to give you guys the opportunity. Was there anything you wanted to ask us three?
So you asked us earlier what, we want out of this podcast. What do you guys want out of this podcast, going forward? I don't know if you've said that before in like another podcast that came out that I just didn't listen to, but yeah, what are you guys like wanting to do with this long term?
We wanted to meet Dyna standards.
Dyna standards.
I mean, we strive for success for Den. I mean, that's all we do. That's all we do.
Make me sound like I'm like whipping you to or something. Like I'm like a slave master or something.
I mean, my back hurts pretty bad.
Man, I mean, my shirt is already ripped, Den. God damn it.
Showing your abs off.
Yeah,
I see.
that's intentional.
Here we go, man.
Yeah, but I think all three of us are just aiming to constantly evolve and change it and adapt it to make it be the best and most likable podcast, not only for Kitsu, but for anime fans outside of Kitsu. We really want to build this podcast to be something. That's why we got rid of trends last episode as well. Obviously, this is Kitsu based, but we also want to make it, interesting.
Right, inclusive.
Art on Kitsu.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make a podcast. I don't think we want it to be absolutely typical in every single Live Anime podcast, but at the same time, I think we wanted to be our own, but also, be identifiable enough for all anime fans to be like, oh yeah, that's an anime podcast that we'd like to listen to.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Coming from someone that's like, I've had 3 or 4 different podcasts I've been a part of, 2 different versions of the Otaku Squad, Evertaku, Cymirth, Otakru, man. I've been around in podcasts, so like, I've seen a lot that like started and died young, man. So keep it pushing, and yeah, I would love to see where you guys go.
We appreciate that.
I think all of us have a creative drive. I know Dyna does. He has other projects on the side that me and him are trying to organize. And we're hopefully going to start getting the ball soon. Obviously, I work on a bunch of side projects myself. I'm always doing. I think we just want to make this enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah, it's great to hear, man.
Anything else? Or Dyna or Nuvo? Because I know I did the talking there like I tend to at times. Anything you guys wanted to add to that?
I think you stated everything.
You pretty much said just about everything else, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a pleasure just been talking with you guys anyway. We created this for like the community, but we trying to branch off, evolve over time, all that good jazz. But you pretty much said everything we wanted to say.
Well, cool. I guess I know my guys pretty well. Yeah, because Nuvo was the one who started this podcast. I took lead of the ship, but then Dyna is also kind of the guy in the back who's constantly pushing us to tweak things to make sure it's better and more suited for the modern and future stuff.
Yes, he's the master. We just Pinocchio.
So I think with the 3 of us, we all bring a different aspect, but we all know how to work with each other's dynamics to try to go for a path that we think will make the podcast stay strong, grow, and also hopefully just be a good time.
You know how we do. Fun, lit, and carefree. You know how we do.
That was a good question, not Marvin. So not Marvin or Gabby, any other inquiries or questions or grievances that you want to hold towards us?
My grievance is I did not see enough of Nuvo's abs.
Dude,
oh my
god.
Oh my god.
I struggle with that every day myself, I understand.
Oh my god. Please don't get Cap start. He literally started crying on the air, man. Don't get
legit, like, I was thinking the exact same thing as what Gabby said, man. I was just like, oh, dude.
Oh my god.
My grievance is that this isn't a video podcast, dude. Where's Nuvo's abs? He got a shirt off. Where are they?
Man, you know what, man? Oh my.
Last night I was in bed and I was like, where are they?
Oh my god. Oh my.
Oh, they were right beneath my head as I was laying in bed, and Dyna was whispering in my ear, and you were staring me right in the eyes.
That's the only way I can sleep at night properly with his voice and his abs.
You know what, man?
Pure comfort. Seriously, it's been tremendous having both you, Caleb, and Gabby on the podcast tonight. I'm glad you made it out, despite your throat probably hurts a little bit right now after all the talking.
It's dry as fuck, but it's alright. I'm good.
You're a trooper.
And Gabby, thank you. I know this was your first experience doing this, and I want to say you did a tremendous job, so thank you so much for joining us as well.
Job.
Thank you. I really had a lot of fun.
And I would love to have you guys back on in the future. Next time you're back on, we will talk shit about something serious. I don't know what, but hopefully it'll be fun as well.
Yeah, dude, sounds great to me. Ton of fun.
Yeah.
It was absolutely wonderful having you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Doaks. Thank you, Dyna. Thank you, Nuvo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
For all the listeners out there, users to recommend this week to follow Ninjamushi. Is it just Ninjamushi now, or is it Ninjamushi LP?
My old account got deleted, so...
Okay, so it'll be at Ninjamushi, which I will also link at the bottom, and at Win22.
Yep.
These are 2 of the finest users on Kitsu, and Marvin always needs more people, because he's too cool and doesn't have enough
I've
followers.
got less than 30 followers and such, dude, man. It, died. I stopped doing YouTube, and, it's dry. It's dry.
It's the wasteland, guys.
It's as dry as his throat, guys.
Oh,
I understand. But yes, to everybody listening, I thank you once again for joining us for episode 12 of the FoxCast. We'll be back sometime soon with episode 13. This was Doaks, and I wish you all a good evening.
Nuvo here. Cheers.
This is Dyna. Thank you again, Marvin and Gabby, for being on today's episode, and we will catch you all next time.